All right, let's dive into a tool that's promising to tear down one of the biggest walls for traders, the whole need to code. We're talking about Pineify AI and its huge claim that you can build really complex trading strategies without writing a single line of Pine script yourself.
Look, if you've ever tried to build your own indicator or strategy on TradingView, you know this feeling. You have this brilliant idea, but then you spend hours, maybe even days, just staring at your screen, hunting down that one single misplaced comma that's breaking everything. It's maddening, right?
And believe me, you are not alone. This whole cycle of coding, testing, and debugging is, without a doubt, the single biggest thing holding traders back from getting their ideas out there and tested. It's this universal frustration that just drains your time, your energy, and pulls your focus away from what really matters, analyzing the markets.
So just imagine for a second, what if that entire bottleneck, that whole painful process, just vanished? What if you could go from a trading idea in your head to a fully functional script in a matter of seconds?
Well, that's exactly the promise of Pineify AI, and its core claim is a really big one. It's an AI that generates Pine script with a zero-error guarantee.
So what is this thing really? The easiest way to think about the Pineify AI coding agent is like a translator. But instead of translating, say, Spanish to English, it translates your trading ideas, which you describe in plain, normal language, directly into perfect, ready-to-use Pine script code for TradingView. Okay, a zero-error guarantee definitely sounds almost too good to be true, doesn't it? So how do they actually pull that off? Well, it all comes down to this unique process they call the zero-error engine. Here's the breakdown. You start by just describing your strategy in English. Then the AI generates the code. But, and this is the absolute key, it immediately starts validating its own work. It scans for any syntax errors, and if it finds one, it automatically fixes it and then checks it again. This whole loop just repeats itself over and over until the code is perfect. Only then does it actually deliver it to you. You can see how a technology like this could completely transform a trader's workflow. We're not just talking about saving a little time here. This is a fundamental shift in how you can approach strategy development.
I mean, the contrast is just night and day. The old way is that manual slog, fighting with syntax and debugging for hours on end. The Pineify way aims for a straight line. You just describe your idea, it generates the code, and you get a script that actually works. The entire goal is to remove all that friction.
Now, the first key feature that makes all of this possible is what they call natural language input. This is really the core of what makes the tool so accessible.
So what this means is you don't need to know the first thing about coding. You can just say something like, plot the 20-period EMA and make the chart background green when the price closes above it. And the AI just gets it. The cool part is it works for both simple little indicators and really complex, multi-layered strategies, all without you needing any coding experience at all.
The second key feature is called smart editing, and this is really where that zero-error guarantee comes from. This is that internal auto-fix loop we were talking about. You can think of the AI as its own editor, constantly proofreading its work in real time. So by the time you actually see the code, it's already gone through this whole internal quality control process that's designed to make sure it will compile without a single syntax error.
Of course, claims and features sound great, but the proof is in the pudding, right? What really matters is what actual traders are saying about it. So let's see what the results look like.
This quote from Alex, an algorithmic trader, I think it just nails the feeling of using the tool. It's not just some code generator. It feels like a collaborator. It's like having an expert developer sitting right next to you, catching mistakes before they happen and making sure the final product is solid.
Now, Sarah's point here is so important. A lot of those general-purpose AIs can spit out code that looks like PineScript, but it often fails because they just don't get the specific rules, especially with the newer versions. Pineify, on the other hand, is trained specifically on PineScript, so it understands the context and builds logic that actually works.
And Marcus here brings it all back to the exact problem we started with. By getting rid of that debugging bottleneck, he says his productivity has tripled. And what that really means is more time for analysis, more time for testing, and more time for actual trading.
Now, the AI coding agent is definitely the star of the show, but it's actually part of a bigger toolkit for traders. And right now, the company's model is all based on a lifetime access plan.
Yeah, so that lifetime access is offered as a one-time purchase instead of a monthly subscription. And as of now, they're running a discount of up to 30% on some of their plans.
So here's a quick look at the plans. They're all set up as a one-time payment for lifetime access, and you get a fresh batch of AI credits every month.
The main differences really come down to how many credits you get and whether you get access to their other tools, like a strategy optimizer or even an AI-powered stock and options picker on the higher-end plans.
The model is pretty simple. Buy it once, you own it forever. And that includes all the tools they have now, plus any future updates, all without any of those pesky monthly fees.
So when you boil it all down, the whole idea behind a tool like this is to shift your time away from the technical nightmare of debugging and get you back to the real work of developing and executing your trading strategies.
And that kind of leaves us with one final question to think about. If a huge technical barrier, like coding, is just gone, what new ideas could you bring to life? What kind of strategies that always seemed way too complex to build might suddenly be within your reach? Thanks for watching.